guys, Chris here, Mixed In Vlogs. Today I wanted to talk about audio for your camera, and it's specifically the rig that I've been using, actually several rigs, and I invented a new one because I don't have the funds to buy something else, so I repurpose some other things. So anyways, the audio for vlogging I think is pretty important. So I'll show you what it is that I've got going on for my vlogging rig, and I'll put links to what it is that I bought in the description below. So most of the stuff that I have is Boya, B-O-Y-A, and that's the shotgun mic that's on this camera right now. And what's really convenient is the camera that I have has the mic input, and it has a headphone jack, so you could monitor the sound. And I find that really helpful. And am I getting any sound right now? So first of all, I like to shoot in 24 frames per second, and my video camera lets me do that. And I have some manual settings, which I totally use. On occasion, I'll let it be in auto for things. It depends on where you're at and what you're doing. But for stuff like this, I like to go manual, and every situation needs to have some sort of adjustment, and so I can handle that. I like that. But the main thing is that I'm really surprised and really thankful that the sound on my camera works as good as it does. That's really helpful. If you don't have that, I have part two of what we're going to talk about is some alternative solutions to that. Actually quite easy. And the alternative is using some voice recorders and a lapel mic, and then you record separately from the camera and you sync them in post. And a lot of people don't know that you could do that very easily. Sometimes what I do is clap 3 times after I turn on the recorders, and you see those 3 big spikes in your audio part of your video when you're in your timeline, and you just line them up. But also you can have software that does that. So I use Pinnacle 20 to edit with, and there's a multicam feature in there that you can add multiple clips, up to 6 video clips, and you could have one single sound source if you want to do it that way, or 6 sound sources, but it'll sync with all the videos together, and you could choose to have one sound source and they'll all just marry up, and it just does it by itself. Very easy, and that's what I do even just for one video clip and one audio clip. So here's what I started off with, was the Sony's. And the reason why I chose these guys at first was because the description, and it seems to work, is that there's some circuitry in here to isolate the human voice, and for the most part try to eliminate a lot of the rest. And it doesn't sound weird. It sounds actually quite natural, and it's not wave, but it's I choose the very highest MP3 setting, and since it does preserve the human voice so well, it just sounds awesome. And I used to use Radio Shack lapel mics, but now I am using I've got some different mics here. So I ended up buying newer, and I thought I was getting just one lapel mic for $6 or $7, whatever it was. So I figured I'm gonna need 2, so I bought 2. Well, I didn't know that you're gonna get 3 lapel mics for the $6, and so I got 6 of these things. And what I like is that the cables aren't super long. This one's wrapped up. So here's how long it is. About like that. So that's pretty long. So you can clip this in. There's a little bit of extra to put in your pocket. And this is the other Sony voice recorder that I have now, which it's not wave, it's, what is it, PCM, which is very close to the raw file, but it can do MP3 as well. And I like this because it's a little slimmer than the other ones, and what I do like is that the mic and the headphone jacks are on the top. So when I put the microphone in, it just slips in my pocket, stays up and down. And what's cool is you hit the recorder on your camera. There's a hold switch on here so that you don't accidentally push some buttons and stop the recording and mess with any settings. It's locked. It's good to go. You're wireless. So I also bought windscreen. I think online it's called cat ears. Super cheap, like $12, you get 2 of them. So sometimes we don't need it. So there's this, and then I took this off and stuck the little cat ear on there, and it actually works really nice to keep the wind noise from hitting the mic. Very cool. So I'm going to give you an example of using this, and also another alternative to using this camera, which I really like, because I put a Cinetone on it. So this is a Sony, by the way, and it's a handy cam, so it's possible to get depth of field, but if I'm vlogging, I don't really care about depth of field. You know why? I know it has a great face detection. I'm in focus, and chances are where I'm at, I want you to see it too. How can you see it if it's all blurry? Another really cool thing about having the voice recorder in your pocket instead of a super fancy, expensive wireless system that is unreliable. This will be reliable, provided that the recorder connection is actually good. But you can see that my range isn't going to matter compared to where I'm at on the camera, whether I'm far away or if I start to get close. And it's the same whether I'm right up on it or if I was way back there. All right, so what I wanted to do was take this action cam, which is a OD RVM, looks like this, and it has a little screen on the back, and it's not waterproof, but it did come with a waterproof case, and it came with all kinds of attachments. One of them is this handy little cage that has a 1/4-inch screw mount on the bottom and on the top, which is very convenient. So let's put that on now. It just kind of snaps on. There we go. There, it's all snapped in. Gives you room to still push the buttons there, and there's a touchscreen on the back. But it also came with this clip that slides into place here, and this has like a little alligator. I'm going to clip that on there. Okay. Now, put this down. I'm going to put this down. Now, my gimbal is meant for phones, but this doesn't fit on there. No matter how much I tried to put it on there, it doesn't work. So what I thought, I would use my case of my phone, set it in here, okay, and now I'll clip this on here because it's not very heavy. This whole thing's pretty light. And I'll get it to be kind of balanced. I have to balance this just a little bit. I think that's about right. Alright, I'm gonna move this over. That's about right. I have a stabilized action cam. And I can get a preview of what the shot is with my phone. Now the audio on this camera is not great. Not the worst thing ever, but it's not great. So secondary audio would be much more preferred. Let's see if I can vlog a little bit with this. Now, mind you, the colors aren't perfect and everything, but I might be able to tweak a few things in post. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to get this connected to it. Let's see how it does. Okay, guys, seem to be working pretty good. Exposure is going to be automatic. I don't think I can change that very much. There's a couple settings for how much it's going to do, but I think the auto part's still, I don't fully understand it, something like that. But you can see I can track myself. What I got going on is I can see a little preview in my phone to make sure that I am in the shot. Kind of know where to hold my camera here. What's kind of cool though is that the audio is going to be the same as what you heard before. So that's really cool. Also, this is a very cheap action camera that is now under some stabilization, which is pretty cool. That's usually a high cost thing to do otherwise. And yeah, I already had this gimbal for my cell phone, but now I can put my action cam on it. I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that's pretty cool is I can spin this around so it can show you where we're going with the wide angle lens. Yeah. You can see a little bit of the walking movement, but it's a lot better than what it would be if I was holding it just with my hands. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That would be really, really bad. But it's doing quite well. I'm really surprised. And then I can bring it back around to me. There we go. Can't hold it too high. There we are. Yeah, exposure is a little slow. Takes a little while. In fact, the exposure is like, it's hating life right now. Come on, expose. So, what do you think? Is this a vlogging style that's okay? I know the sound is all right, but do you like the wide angle lens? You get to see more in the background. There is no blurry background, but I don't know. I think the ease of it's pretty easy. I don't have to worry about focusing. Don't have to worry about anything like that. How you doing? Yeah, and of course it's very easy for me to sync the audio to the video, so it's kind of a win-win. It's a win-win. So if you have any more questions about the way that you can attach your audio to your videos, let me know. Maybe we can come up with some solutions. Sometimes I'm pretty crafty. Sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. But if you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, because I'll do it. I'll totally do it. If you don't like this video, then eat about 4 bananas. Call me in the morning. See how that works out. All right, guys. Well, that's about all I got for now. I'm gonna go get some coffee and eat some dinner, and we'll see you guys next time. I hear some sirens. If what I see over there is what I think it is, I think I've discovered something amazing, unbelievable, inconceivable. Looks to me like it's an outdoor, hardcore laser tag. Let's go check it out. Yes. You seeing this right now? Okay, new plan. Mixed In is gonna go play laser tag. We're gonna get as many friends as we can to play. It'll be Mixed In against friends and friends' girlfriends. We're gonna be as strategic as hell. I found out that they got all kinds of games. They can do the capture the flag. They can do like the typical game of Slayer, team against team, or maybe even every man for himself. He even said he's trying to work on a like the defuse the bomb sort of scenario, which would be pretty cool. I would like that. So that's on the weekends for, oh, what do you say, $26 a person? That's not too bad. 26 bucks a person for an hour. That's pretty cool. That's really good. So if you're doing your audio just from the camera, you know, sometimes the camera is quite forgiving with that. For instance, the camera that I'm using here, it has some 5.1 surround sound mics on it. It has a built-in wind remover that actually works pretty good. There was a day that William and I were shooting with this camera, and we were at Camp Casey, Fort Casey, and it got really windy where we were at by the guns, and you could hear the wind, but it wasn't ruining the sound by that awful sound that distorts the microphones. It did a really good job. Now, is that what I would recommend? No, I like the setup that I have now that has a kind of a windsock over an external microphone. It isn't going to be stereo like the other one was, but there's times where I might want that, and this camera can do it. So it's as simple as unplugging it. So that'd be pretty easy. And so there's times where I would want that, and there's times where I wouldn't. Also, I'm really lucky with this camera, with my shotgun microphone that I have that has a phantom power via a battery, or if you just turn that off, you can get phantom power from an external source. But it's really nice with this camera. The camera accepts that audio quite well. It's very, very nice, and the sound of it is really, really good. I would say this microphone that we're doing right now, it's much shorter, but it's still very directional, which is really, really helpful, and it kind of rejects sounds from the sides left and right, which is really, really nice as well. I can get some distance from it and it'll still hear me quite well. It's a little better if I get closer. So this Boya mic, I think I paid, I don't know, if I remember right, it wasn't a lot. I was really surprised. It's less than the Video Mic Pro from Rode. I was discouraged at first because all these professional mics from Rode, they were kind of expensive. So I waited and waited and waited, and now another company makes one, and I saw a comparison video, and they said it was actually really close to the sound, if not a little bit louder sounding than the Rode's mics. So it's pretty cool. And this one requires no battery. So I just simply plug it in, and if it does get any power, it takes it just very slightly from the camera, which is, I don't know how all that works, but I heard that there's like a tiny bit of voltage that happens or something like that. But what's nice is I don't have to remember to turn it off when I'm done recording. That's really cool. And they came with the cables for hooking this up to your cell phone. So it's the TRRS, and it has the TRS, which I think I'm using the TRS for this video camera, and the TRRS would be a way that you could hook it up to your cell phone. If you have the iPhone, you still have to use the adapter, and any of those phones that don't have a mic jack anymore or a headphone jack. But still, they give you this one gave me the cables that I need anyways. Really handy, really handy. This Sony cam has a hot shoe on it, but it's a proprietary one. Only Sony stuff fits on it. Thanks, Sony. But I managed to get around that with a little L bracket that has a couple of cold shoes on it, and I just mounted it to that, which makes it pretty good. Anyways, it puts the microphone up above the camera so you don't see the fuzzy dead rat that I have on top of it. Wow, I shouldn't have wore this thing. It's really hot for today. I didn't expect it to be. It was super overcast, and now it looks really nice. Hot out. All right. So yeah, laser tag on the way. We're gonna do some laser tag soon. Love it. All right, and thanks for watching. And now we'll see you next time.